Right now on News 8 at 10, getting ready for game day, how the Cubs' World Series win could actually have a negative impact on people living near Wrigley Fields.
Live from WQAD, News 8 at 10 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Jim Mertens.
And I'm Denise Hanitka. Thank you for joining us tonight. And in our top story at 10, a group of firefighters is making news tonight, far from the scene of any fire.
In Minneapolis, a group of 22 volunteers is sharing more than just the brotherhood of fighting fires. News 8's Jenna Morton is live in the studio with the story behind this department's special bond. Jenna?
Jim, any group of firefighters will tell you they are part of a bigger family. But in the last few days, the Minneapolis Fire Department has proven that over and over again. This firehouse is really a home.
Minneapolis is a small community, so everyone knows everyone.
And this volunteer fire department is really a family.
Everybody kept announcing, and it was like a new announcement every month.
We were the second one.
We are the fourth.
We were second to last, so number 5.
One by one,
6 babies in 7 months.
Since August, the Minneapolis Fire Department has gotten bigger and bigger.
We didn't actually plan it, as it might seem like we did.
3 girls and 3 boys. 6 babies born to the same firefighting family.
We definitely got really good at throwing baby showers.
Yeah.
It's been fun to go through it with everybody else, and it's definitely helpful that we're all going through it together.
And that has everyone in Minneapolis talking.
Don't drink the water.
That's the big one.
I've heard that, and also I've heard there must not have been enough fire calls.
Well, it may be a little hectic when they all get together.
It's a little chaotic because there's just a lot of,
diaper changes, breastfeeding, I mean, all of that.
These families were able to capture this quiet moment. A picture taken over the weekend with the boys and girls all lined up on their daddy's fire gear.
It was surprising that once we laid them all out that none of them were crying.
But the next time the chaos of a fire erupts, this family of firefighters will face another emergency.
We've talked about just bring your kids here, and whoever's available can come and watch them.
Turning this firehouse into a daycare for this family of families.
We're a family, before this, and we'll be a family for a long time.
The firefighters say they plan to make the group photo a yearly tradition. Jim?
Oh, very sweet. And some of the fire departments say you never know if this could happen again. They say there are a lot of younger couples in the department who haven't had kids quite yet.
They are going to multiply quickly. The first day of spring brought some strong storms to the Quad City area. Several communities in Knox County were slammed with quarter-sized hail early this morning. People there are reporting some damage to their homes and cars, and in fact, one auto body shop says it's booked until November now to fix all the damage.
We've had a lot of calls this morning, and we also have cars that were here on the lot that were damaged, that were waiting to be repaired, so those are ones we're going to have to look at first.
Owners of the shop say this is the most storm damage business they've gotten in about 15 years. Those storms, though, turned into a beautiful spring day, so we'll see how long that will last.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Storm Track 8 Chief Meteorologist James Zahara in the Weather Center right now. James?
It was a good looking day out there. Check out the daytime highs that we had around eastern Iowa and northwestern Illinois, well into the 60s. In most of our towns, I got as warm as 66 degrees, like around Muscatine, 68 in Macomb, 68 as well over in Iowa City. Got as warm as 66 degrees over in the Quad Cities out there. So a good looking day was temperature-wise around the area. Currently, we're seeing those temperatures dip in the 50s. Some 40s now begin to pop up from Tipton eastward all the way to Sterling Rock Falls, Princeton, Illinois, even around LaSalle, Peru. In the Quad Cities, 52 degrees. We have some scattered high-level clouds about. Should you see these temperatures drop right near that dew point temperature as we head overnight. We'd love to keep the warm weather going, but unfortunately, that northwest flow will kick on in. And as we go through at least the next couple of days, we do expect to see some cooler daytime highs. In that transition, an outside chance for a little isolated shower. I'll tell you when that chance will take place and who could see that chance. Coming up in just a few minutes. Jim?
All right, thank you, James. Democratic State Senator Daniel Biss is joining the race for Illinois governor. Biss has served in the legislature since 2011. He says Governor Bruce Rauner's policies have failed. Biss calls himself a mathematician equipped to solve budget and pension reform issues. Republican officials say he's an accomplice to House Speaker Michael Madigan. Illinois state workers will keep getting paid during the ongoing budget battle, at least for now. Illinois Supreme Court justices today say they won't take up an appeal to stop that pay.
The appeal was filed by Attorney General Lisa Madigan. She says that stopping state worker pay is constitutional and would serve as an incentive to get a budget passed. But the governor argues that Madigan wants to create a crisis to shut down the government.
One of the Quad Cities' largest employers has a new deal with Toyota. Arconic, which was once Alcoa, has finalized a deal with the Japanese automaker to produce aluminum for the company's Lexus RX SUV. This means Arconic will be the sole aluminum sheet supplier to Toyota. It's a multi-year deal that will mean additional work for plants in Riverdale as well as in Danville, Illinois.
Passengers flying to the U.S. from foreign countries may be banned from bringing even a laptop on board their flight. The new ban impacts more than a dozen foreign airlines flying into the U.S. from mostly Middle Eastern and African nations. It mostly applies to electronics larger than a smartphone, like a DVD player or a tablet. Those would have to be put into a checked bag. The new rule is expected to be formally announced Tuesday by the Department of Homeland Security. It has been under consideration since the U.S. government learned of a new threat several weeks ago. We're less than a month away now from Cubs opening day.
And construction on Wrigley Field in full swing. Take a look at this. High over the ballpark right now, Wrigley Field getting a huge makeover, replacing several rows of seating, upgrading the visiting team's batting tunnel, and many concession stands are being added or fixed up. There's also a hotel going up across the street from Wrigley. Officials say the park will be ready for the Cubs' first home game. That's April 10th against the Los Angeles Dodgers. And people who live around the ballpark are getting a preview of what they can expect from the Cubs this season. Many are worried that the Cubs' World Series win, along with that new construction, will make the area even more rowdy on game nights. They also say traffic, noise outside the field, and parking are becoming major problems. A Cubs spokesman says the organization is working with police to make sure they keep up with issues around the renovated ballpark. Still ahead on News 8 at 10, meet the new head basketball coach at the University of Illinois.
News 8 Sports Director Matt Randazzo speaks with the man leading the Fighting Illini into the next season.
Plus, the battle over President Trump's pick for Supreme Court continues. Why some lawmakers say the confirmation would put too much politics inside the nation's highest court.
You're watching WQAD News 8 at 10 with Jim Mertens and Denise Anitka.